So the first one was just for anybody who wanted to see the stuff quickly, the stuff I'm going to use for my infusing. Also, I'm just going to kind of like go over different things while I'm doing this, because you'll be able to see if you go back into my chronic illness story, Dysautonomia. If you look back, go all the way back in those other videos, you'll notice that, number one, I was smaller, even though I was more bedridden then. Steroids, okay. Number two, the scars. I do keloid. So every surgery I've had a lot, people. A lot. There are keloids everywhere. I already had keloids from when I had chicken pox as a kid. But now, okay, so today, you see, I don't know if you can see, but I'm having a reaction. I'm not going to even go into that long story. And I'm just kind of keeping the Tegaderm off for a minute because I've had a shower, so I'm sweating because I've been in that, and I'm infusing, so I actually have fluid to sweat. But instead, the body's like, I'm going to over sweat. There's no medium, people. Okay, so I'm all hooked, just letting that skin dry. Okay, so when I go put the Tegaderm on, I won't just sweat it back off. Yeah. And so I have lots of Tegaderm, have lots of sizes. And if you have a problem with your infusion people giving you a lot, you just remind them that in the summertime it's hot and you will sweat it off if you're infusing fluids. All right. So scarring from surgeries. Tegaderm, this is like one of the bigger patches. I cut it in half. Yeah. I when I leave the house, I try to make sure that my port site is visible and that the needle is visible, well, the clave and everything, so that if something happens while I'm out, they can instantly see, without having to go into my purse, they'll just see like, oh my God, there's something serious here, and I think we ought to call 911. This woman has a port, and it's accessed. So I always try to leave the house with the access. On days when I don't feel like getting a lot of questions, I put on some gauze covering and then tape it. Sometimes I'll do both sides, but I've gotten really tired of it. So I do one side and this side is open. But you're shopping, you get tired hearing, oh my God, that must hurt. Yep. Actually, not only is that hurting, my whole body's hurting, and I just want to pay for my stuff and go home. So sometimes it's put this on and you don't get any crazy comments while you're out and about not feeling well. Okay. So I don't even know why I'm doing this video today. I was like, I'm going to do a video. There's somebody out there. It's the Sabbath for me. And, an illness doesn't care what day of the week it is. It treats you like shit 24/7, 365, correct? Okay. So my pump, I get a new pump every 6 months. It's crazy, It's every 6 months. Well, they like to make sure that the pumps are working properly, and every time it's a different pump. So that's important to know. So my nurse, I think I had one of my nurses come once to show me a newer pump, and I think it was this one. And then I didn't remember anything she said because I was really sick, so I had to teach myself. And this one is a little difficult, even with priming. I also have a pole, just in case things go wrong. And now I also know how to run my fluid without a pole, a pump, or gravity. That's important. So if you can have your nurse teach you how to run your fluids without needing any equipment, just your own hands, no gravity, then that's a great help for when you're just in a really stuck situation. These things are heavy, okay? Just like the pole was heavy, traveling with that. Oh God, okay. And then of course you're traveling with the heavy stuff that goes with that pump. Okay, so when I travel, I have 3 bags, okay, of saline. This is D5 normal. I don't like to give out too much information anymore about what I use. It's for a lot of reasons, and I'm just like, I don't know. But it's fluid. Now, before I have already, I'm gonna get my swabs. And this is another thing, because what I know is that swabbing here is that different people and different nurses, different hospitals, different offices have different practices. So for your benefit, see how that fell on my other hand? I'm going to swab it. I've already swabbed it, and I know that the clothes I have on are perfectly clean, that I have not left this position, but I don't want anybody leaving any crazy comments. I don't leave the comments on anyway most of the time. Let's toss that. All right. When I infuse, I don't know, I'm very sensitive, and a lot of people with dysautonomia and other issues, POTS, are sensitive. So I do push through Zofran. I'm just priming it is all. And you know, it has to stay refrigerated just because I'm going to feel really sick. And this helps. And also, I take a Dramamine if I have to, if the Zofran doesn't do enough to help. And also, before I begin, what do? I do Benadryl, okay? But I push this through and I let this kind of seep in, and I do the Benadryl right before I actually begin the process. Okay. Now, again, I'm going to show you what I do. Everybody's different. All right. I've been taught by multiple nurses. I've seen multiple ways, and I'm not going to say much more. I'm just going to start opening up. Okay. Hope you can hear me. This is probably boring to the average person, but to people who are homesick, watching someone go through their routine is so comforting. I remember that feeling, you know. I would sit and watch an hour video like it was nothing just because I was so sick I couldn't stand up. I was spinning even when I was lying down. So it was nice to see long videos. And so I'll give you one today. For those out there, it may only be 2 of you or just 1 person who's in need of a long, boring dysautonomia video. I'm going to hand prime this. This new pump, I hate it as far as priming. So I hand prime. Okay. So I didn't remove the cap there. See? Okay. I don't really want to say much. You can see what's going on. I hope you can see. I'm doing my best. Lots of tossing. And I have a grabber, so you know. Now, in a second, I am gonna. Okay. Not touching any of it. It's still sterile. I haven't touched anything. I'm gonna lock it. No, I'm not gonna lock it because you know what? Let me go ahead and prime it. So this one has the little doohickey that you snap right before you're about to put it into the machine there. So you leave that. You're gonna hand prime it. Simple. Lots of air bubbles. Lots of air. Just get it out. That machine over there, I've had, it primed so slowly. One time I looked up, it was 30 minutes. I wanted to cry that it was still priming. One of my nurses taught me to hand prime, and then I forgot. But then something said to me, just trying to get, it's probably common sense, because that's what she said. And it was. I mean, get the air out. Just keep working it. And I try to direct it so I don't waste a lot of time. Make sure I get that air right there. If you do it differently, kudos for you. I don't want to know any more new ways to do anything. I don't want to know it. I just want to spend my life, just live it. So whichever way you do it, that's cool. I had one pump, well, a couple pumps that primed really well. Yeah, I think this was my first pump that just try to make sure. Some days it's faster depending on how shaken the bag is from shipping. Okay, so let me see something. See all that? That's gotta go. It's a slow prime day. That's what it's looking like. Even that, just push it out. So, it's right there. I'm putting it right there. You should take it. There you go. Just force it. Get that air out of there. And I still drink almost maybe my smart water, 2 of these a day. And I make sure I have bananas. So that's for all the people who, are you eating your bananas? Are you drinking enough water? Are you taking in enough sodium? Are you a long time into this now? I just want to live and enjoy some life and not have to be researching my whole day away about stuff anymore. Okay, so that's looking good. Yeah, that's good. And then when I run it, it'll just kind of prime anyhow. So, cool. It looks good. I flipped over like that a few times to catch any extra. That looks good. See, check it up again and see what happens. That's decent. Let's see. Okay. And of course you can see it coming down the line as well. So all of that fluid has been collecting in here where I got the tubing from. It's easier than pulling a garbage can over to you sometimes. This is like, once it becomes routine, you just like, I just want it done. I just took that piece off. Oh, let me give new batteries to this. Doesn't take but a second. And I can't tell you the amount of batteries I have, people. And it's sad because the batteries are expensive and all different kinds because I've had all sorts of pumps. I did have a pump that you plugged in. That was great. That you charge. I mean, and the charge remained for a long time. So that was quick, right? And if I see in the air, it's not a problem. I'll just run it out. Okay, that's looking decent. All right, I'm turning it on. And for all of you folks who come to my site for different things, yes, this port I do access myself with the needle. It's a needle. I put it in, I take it out. It's really not that difficult, to tell you the truth. If your port is in place nicely. I've had some situations. So I'm just gonna program it, repeat, It's saying stuff. It just says stuff. I understand what it's saying. It's like estimating 3 hours and 38 minutes. I do mine at a certain speed because I found that this particular number works. The milliliters per hour, whatever. Everybody's different. Some people just bolus and run it. I can't do that. Because see, you have to, like, we may have dysautonomias, but there are other things that we have that may not be the same. And so based on some of my other issues, it's not good. It's not good. I wouldn't be able to walk. It would just like, all right, so it's running, people. All right. And I shake it, try to force and make bubbles. If you get what I'm saying. Is that a slot there? That's working. Now let's look at the line. See if anyone's coming down the pike. Yep, somebody's there. Yep, that was a nice size one. So all the good size ones are coming through. Yeah, let that one come through. Okay. And this goes in cold or room temperature. I mean, so for me, it's very painful. My body experiences that as pain. Everyone's body's different, but if you're dysautonomic, things are the opposite of what they should be. So something like this on a warm New England day should make me feel refreshed and cool running through my veins, but no, it's very painful. And it's only room temperature. It's not like it's okay. Come on down. You are the contestant. There you go. All right. And so what I'm going to do is not that. It didn't like that. I'm going to pause it and turn it off. Now, so it's there. It's ready. It's running. Pump. Tubing. I'm going to throw the wet part out now. There's the trash there. This is what I do for the end of it, because I have a child who's 12 and life it gets hectic, and sometimes you have to just take it out to do things 50 million times. You can't just run it, so this bag will be forever. So I open up a swab, just, you know, and leave it all in there. That's the swab itself, and then I put the tip of it so that when I take it out, when I take it from my chest. So let's see, it comes from my chest. Look at that. In that alcohol, boop, push in. And so when it falls like it's about to, I don't have to worry if it falls on the floor. See? Benadryl. I'm gonna push this through. Yeah, right behind that Zofran. I'm not gonna do anything in between. Everyone's different, and for different reasons why I like it this way. But that's all personal. Some things are just personal. You don't have to explain them. Gonna push Benadryl through. After I push this through, I'm gonna take that thing from off the floor that's nicely wrapped in that there swab. I don't think I swabbed this before, but yeah, so I'll be at this for about 4 hours, probably more, depending on how many interruptions I get today. It is a nice spring in New England, just a little humid, but the temperatures are very mild. And that's it for now. Hope everyone is doing the best that they can. Even though and for those of you out there who are new, just because you see me, doing this real quick, and and it took time, it took practice. I had to actually have a teacher, and what you don't see is all the other stuff back there that I have to do. And I do have Medtronic's InterStem implants in my butt cheeks, planted in my butt cheeks to stimulate my bladder, and it works also for my colon and pelvic floor, and blah, 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 blah. I still have all the same issues. It's just a matter of how bad is one thing or the other flaring, and you kind of get used to being like this. There's never, I don't have a good day. I don't know what that means anymore. But, so just know that I'm here. I'm smiling, but inside I'm thinking, It's going to be a long 4 hours. I'm about to be in pain when this fluid runs through. And so you're not alone. You're not alone. Okay, and this, running the fluids, I do it 3 times a week. I used to knock the whole 3 out in one day. So just know that whatever you're doing, whatever bad moment you're having, the majority of us are having a bad moment at the same time with you. So find comfort in that. I do. Like, knowing that has helped me. And I learned that by meeting people on YouTube and Twitter back in the day. I mean, back before everybody was like hashtag, way back. So just knowing that they're at home and they're having a hard time and I'm not the only one, it is comforting. And to know if someone says they're having a good day, I never hear that. But if they do, it's just, like maybe I'll have one. But I guess I don't look for good or bad. I don't look for happy. I just look for joy, something so simple. Finding a little joy. And I'm going to try to find that by playing Lego Worlds on my PS4, my son's PS4. And that's it. I'll be doing fluids. It's the Sabbath. And keeping it holy. A few swear words. Never hurts. Shit. Be at this for 4 hours. All right. I gotta go. Hope this came out okay.